All right, guys. Day 5, leg day. Not as tilted today, but didn't really sleep that well. Just kind of kept waking up throughout the night. It was like it was too high, it was too stuffy, and then I don't know. I think I go to bed pretty cold because I like to take a warm shower, right? And it's like a thermal dump, right? The heat just comes off of you, and then as I sleep, my internal temperature is just, I just start cooking the bed, dude. It's crazy, but yeah, didn't sleep too well. Eyes are super dry this morning. It also correlates with my little biometric band. It says, hey, your recovery kind of sucked, or it was like average, right? It was like average to below average or whatever, right? It wasn't bad. So leg day will be kind of interesting. Gonna see what happens. But so I did look at the programming today, actually, because I wanted to do some back squats with just the bar, because I want to mess around with my foot placement and how wide my stance is. Because I've been looking at other people that do high bar back squats, right? A lot of the Olympic guys and people with, the non-optimal body proportions. Shorter torso, longer legs, longer femur. They all kind of, their stance isn't like narrow. It's like wide and out. But it kind of also depends on how my hip bone attaches to the joint. So gonna need to kind of experiment and just see what feels comfortable, right? One thing to consider is that if I do go wider, if I flare my feet out a little bit more, right? As long as my knees track over my toes, I'm happy with that. But I think I get too deep in the hole with that, because that's where my hip joint opens up into. So I can actually get really deep, right? To the point where my ass is 2 inches from the ground. It's crazy. But I don't think that's good because it pulls on everything else. So I kind of have to see what's a good compromise. But today I think it's RDLs, leg press, leg extensions, calves, abs, or something like that. Real easy, real simple. So it shouldn't take me too long. And because it's legs, I should be a smidge higher in my deficit. So I think I'll just continue with the 15-20 minutes cardio afterwards to make sure I'm in it. But this morning I weighed in at 171.6 or something. That was after I had a little bit of a meal too. So pretty good. It's coming down consistently. It did plateau a bit during the days where I was off. I was sitting comfortably at 150 or 175, and I wasn't sure why. But the second I got into the gym the next day and I weighed myself, boom, down. Immediately I'm down. It's like, oh, okay, shit. So well, I say I'm gonna go to the but I keep forgetting to bring the lock in to the car, put it in my bag, because I actually took it out one day and I just forgot. So, but I don't need to really put anything in. I'll just wear this hoodie underneath. I'll take it off. I'll put it over the armrest. Fuck it. So, still gonna be able to do cardio. That's nice. But yeah. It's a cop on a 2-lane road. So I also wrote down what I was gonna talk about today, but again, since I wrote it yesterday, it's been 24 hours and I don't remember. So I'm gonna kind of wing today. But yeah. So let's talk about Let's talk about the importance of not over analyzing and over optimizing your program, right? Right, like, if you're a newbie and you start off with the 5x5, cool, just go with the 5x5 for, I think it's 8 weeks or something. Just go with it over 8 weeks. Try to progressively overload as best as you can, right? Increase some weight every single time you do that exercise, or every single week, if you do it twice. If you can't, go up in reps. If you can't slow down, the movement, right? Like, slow down, like the concentric circuit, right? And just focus on better form, right? There's always something better that you can do to kind of engage the muscle that you want to grow. Because when you start to over optimize it, you're like, okay, 5x5 is, I don't actually know what 5x5 is. I think it's like bench, shoulders, triceps, like back squats. I don't even know if you deadlift in 5x5, but yeah, no. If you're like, oh yeah, no, like I'm doing the bench press twice a week or whatever for 8 reps for like 8 sets or whatever, you're like, oh yeah, but like I hear everybody talking about the like the upper chest, right? The shelf, right? That's what makes you look manly, right? That's what makes you look big. And you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna do more. Okay, so I'm gonna do the bench, but I'm also gonna do like extra sets of like the incline bench or the incline dumbbell. And then you're like, okay, cool, but now like people talk about the triceps, about how triceps is there's 3 heads instead of 2 heads, so that's what actually makes your arm look big. So I do some overhead, I gotta, right? And then your 5x5 turns into like a 2-hour workout. No, there's no need for that. Just do your workout, right? Do the programming that you picked, when you have that clear conscience, right? Like that post-nut clarity in a way, right? When you're not, overhyped to go to the gym, but you're not dreading to go to the gym, right? You're in that perfect balance of state of mind, that's when you pick your programming. Cool, just stay with that, right? Because even though, sure, it can be optimized to get more out of what you want, right? But at the cost of, the program itself working. If you just hit it hard and you commit to it, right? Like really commit to it and be like, okay, cool, this isn't exactly fixing or bringing up the parts I want, but since I'm already in it, let's get the most out of it, right? And I guarantee you, what you get out of that versus trying to over optimize it is going to be much more than if you add stuff in, take stuff out. Oh, this is uncomfortable. Oh, this is hard. I'm not going to do that, right? So, I think just following it, right, is, right, just committing it is super important. Now, the caveat is, if you found some like random guy, right, like cool dude 69 on Reddit, right, he's like, yeah, man, this is the training split I use, right? And you're looking for like a 4-day split that's not like upper lower. He has like a weird one that you're like, oh, I like that, right? Okay, cool. Then maybe kind of look at it a little bit, be like, okay, does this give me the right reps? Does this target different parts of the body? Does it distribute the muscle groups evenly? Do I have compound movements and isolations? Do I have all the days kind of like spread out quite a bit, right? So it's not like I'm doing very, very like CNS intensive movements, just on one day, like back squat into deadlift, into leg press, right? Like like you're just gonna get burnt out after that, right? Like you gotta rest like the next 2 days. So in that case, kind of maybe look at it objectively and see, okay, is this actually that good, right? But now if you get programming from like I wouldn't say trusted sources, but from sources that have a good reputation in the fitness industry, I say if people don't flame them about it, right? If there's a generally a positive feedback, I think that's good. Like like I think it's James Ethier or whatever, Jeff Nippard. There's like Catalyst. There's like you know, like the 5x5. You know, you can do the Arnold. You can do the traditional PPL. You can do, you know, Sam Sulek's 4 days. You know, they all work, right? Just might not work as well for you. So you kind of have to really commit to one, get everything out of that, so you know for sure, okay, cool, I respond better to this, I like this better, I don't like that, cool, this is my weakness, this is blah blah blah. But no, I think that's I think it's super important to just find the programming, you know, during that PNC mindset, that balanced mindset. Okay, cool, this looks good, this looks balanced, this looks maintainable, and then yeah, just commit to it for like 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever the programming is, and then just go from there. But yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I talked about this yet, but you know, if I was to go back in time and I was like, you know, like, and I could teach myself, like, okay, like, how do you start and stuff like that? You know, I was thinking about, you know, like, what, you know, like, if a total newbie, you know, that's, like, really adverse to, like, moving in general, you know, like, what would I say, what would I do, you know? You know, I think I'm gonna think about that while I'm in there. And then maybe for the post-workout talk, maybe I'll share some of my thoughts. But no, I just think that because everybody wants to look good, right? Even if you say you don't, you do, right? Because I think the reason why you say you don't is because there's a shame, that there's like a shame, there's like a guilt, there's a connotation that goes along with wanting to achieve like a good fit, or like a good physique, or look good, or look a certain way even, right? And it's kind of you know, people think it's vain, people think it's shallow, people think it's this or that. And you know what, I agree. You know, if you're doing this for some bitch out there, yeah, it's kind of vain, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she doesn't like you, she ain't gonna like you if you got a six-pack. It is what it is, right? That's why we see so many ugly motherfuckers with hot chicks, because there's something that the hot chick like, and it doesn't really matter what the guy, you know, he's not trying to, you know, show out something that she's not necessarily interested in. So, but if you're like, yeah, I want to up my physique, and you do it for yourself, you're like, I want to look good for me, because every time I want to wake up and I want to look in the mirror, I want to be like, yeah, damn, he looks fucking good. That's good. That's not vain. That's not shallow. That's self-improvement, right? I have an image of where I should be. I have an image of what my potential is. Let's maximize it. Let's reach it, right? Or if I don't reach it, let's try as hard as I can, right? And if I fail out at 80% of it, cool. I look 80% better than when I first started. I'm still proud of myself, right? So that's kind of the way that I look at it. But and we're about to get in. It looks to be completely empty, but I also think that not moving and complaining about how you look or how you feel is super, I don't know, I just feel like it's super lazy, because it's like you know, fitness and moving around, it's one of the only things in life where you can really work towards it, and there's a tactile feedback. You know what I'm saying? Like, you learning something in the book, there's no tactile feedback saying you actually learned this, until 2 months later you take a test and you fail out, or there's a certification, or there's a problem at work, or there's a solution to a, you know, a problem that you couldn't package. But working out, cool, I lifted 6, that's my tactile feedback. Right, you know you did work. But all right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let's get in there. Oh, low battery. Okay. All right, close it ourselves. actually no one in here. Crazy. Actually, no, not really. It's cold. Nobody wants to work out. So, I'm gonna leave that off. All right, let's get to work. All right, boys, this is post-production, Nelsie. So today we had RDLs into leg press, into leg extensions. It's pretty bare. It's pretty, I don't want to say light, but yeah, it's pretty, there's not a lot of volumes for legs, but there's a lot of volumes for like upper body push and pull. So maybe I can add a couple of things in to kind of distribute like the intensity, because totally today I only burn like 160 on my whoop, while on push pull upper days I'm burning 250, 300, 350. So I can definitely increase the reps. So I think after this programming for my next one, I'm gonna find one where the leg days are just as effective as the upper body days. But here I am doing barbell RDLs. Got my new Notorious flat shoes, kind of help me grip the ground a little bit better for deadlifts, for RDLs, for anything that requires me to kind of push against the floor, so which is really, really nice. So I believe this is 185, so above body weight. I can't remember what my rep range was, but basically I was just trying to go until I feel like a massive like pump, like a big fatigue in either my glues, my hamstrings, or my lower back. And that's kind of how I'm gauging the reps. But I think it was like 8 to 12, and then on this one I might have only hit 10. So I could definitely go up in weight, but I am on a cut right now, so there's no reason to really push it. You know, if I feel great next leg day next week, sure, I'll go up to maybe 2 plates and I'll do 225 for, let's say, 8. But I don't really feel my hamstrings that much. I can feel the glutes, I can feel the lower back, but I feel like my hamstrings is just so underdeveloped at this point where there's not much for me to even feel. So I think just like that, I have to kind of program more like posterior chain workouts versus, you know, like my push and my quads and my, you know, my other front facing muscle groups. So definitely on the bulk, gonna do that. So moved on to the leg press. What is this? Is this 2 plates? Yeah, so I don't really know how to calculate the weight of a leg press because it's at an angle, so it's technically not 225. It's actually a little bit less, right? I mean, fuck me, dude. I could draw a force diagram and calculate the newtons for each vector and find out how much weight it actually feels like, but fuck that. So this leg press is a little bit jank. So this one also doubles as a hack squat, which means that the top platform where I put my feet, it's a lot more narrower. So even in the video, you can kind of see like my toes are a little bit over and like the outside of my foot is a little bit over the edge. Because of my long femurs and just my lower body ratio, I like to have a wider stance with my foot more flared out, right? That's how I can get that deep stretch. And coincidentally, that's also what my hip joint and my hip pocket, you know, like how it's orientated, right? So I can get low squatting narrow, but it pinches, but I can squat even lower with a wider, more flared out stance. So here I am doing 225 plus 50. What the fuck is that? 270 on I should have maybe done this weight for the second set because I totally did this set fine. This set actually felt easier than my last set. So
I think next time I'm going to do 2 plates, 2.5 plates, 3 plates, and then call it. I don't know why, but for quad exercises and for like really lower body dominant movements, the lighter it is, the more fatigue I get, right? I get that burn and I just can't endure it. But if you ask me to squat heavy, if you actually press heavy, 8, 9, 10, if it's super heavy, 5, 6 reps, those felt super easy. So maybe for this next bulk, I will try to program more higher rep stuff. Because people talk about loving the burn, but I fucking hate the burn. So, finishing off with leg extension. This machine is fucked up for me because I'm too goddamn short. So, it is what it is. We gotta use what we have, right? So.
Alright, guys. Leg day done, day 5 done. So, apparently, that was that didn't burn as much as I thought it would have. My band only picked up 160 calories, which, if you think about it, does make sense. My leg days are lighter, if that makes sense, or like there's less stuff, right? There's less stuff where I have to, but 160, damn, that kind of makes me think that all my other measurements are kind of fucked, because sometimes when I sometimes I'll start that set like on my band, I'll start filming. I gotta do the set the camera up, do the set, take out the camera, right? Like end the recording, and then go back on the app, and then end the and then re-end the what the fuck is it called? The set. Sorry, there's a guy that I knew that was going to the gym that just caught me off guard, but yeah, so 160, that makes me think that all my other workouts shouldn't have been 300 or something, 350, should have been maybe like 250, 200. But, man, this guy is going 20 and a 40. I gotta get in your lane, buddy. We all gotta take a right. So, but I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just gonna gauge my other days. Maybe it's just my leg days are just a lot, I mean, the volume and stuff is just, it's kind of focused on really 2 movements, right? Because I don't really do a whole bunch. I do like 3, 4 things and I'm done, right? But on push days, I'm doing like 6, 7. So I think in the gym today, or in cardio today, I think I'm just gonna do 30 minutes and just call it, because I still gotta walk the dogs, and it's fucking raining, and that's gonna take me an hour, and I gotta wash them too. Fuck, just, I was talking about kind of like automating things in your life so you can focus on your, things that you want to focus on or should be focused on. But fuck, man. Oh, fuck, I gotta go get groceries too. Yeah, I really wanted to get a lot of shit done today, but gotta do cardio, gotta get groceries, gotta walk the dogs, and then I gotta shower, and I gotta eat. So it'll be like 3 hours from now until the time that I can actually do some work. So it does kind of fucking suck that I do have, like, not responsibility, but like time consuming things that I have to do or I should do. So it is a little bit lame, but I guess that's why all my other hobbies have kind of decreased in frequency, I would say, right? Like, I'm not really going out a whole lot, I don't really go out at all anymore, just don't have time. And then I don't really play games anymore. By the time I get home and I do all that stuff, it'll be 3 hours from now. I got, if I grind the next 5 hours, and then I, lay in bed for a while, read a book, and out, boom, it's bedtime, right? I don't actually have time to do anything, which kind of fucking blows, but it is what it is. So, ooh, what is this guy doing? What are you doing, baby? All right, so I'm gonna save the talk about, so I thought about it. If there's a dude sitting right next to me, it's like, hey man, I'm fat, hey man, I'm skinny fat, hey man, I'm skinny, man, I want to look better for myself, right? Like every, at least guy grows up, I was like, shit, you're watching like macho, masculine, shredded ass dudes, man, if I get close to that, man, can you help me? What I would say to them, I thought about it in the gym actually, and I kind of have like a checklist of things to say, but I'm gonna wait until after I come out because I think I'm almost there. All right, cardio done, 30 minutes, incline 10, speed 3 miles per hour, 305 calories. So I think around 170, mid 170 is where my my minutes equals my calories, you know what I'm saying? So cool. But oh, I forgot to update you guys. So I used the scale at the gym, not this one, but when I was lifting, it was like 175. I was like, huh. But my scale at the gym, but my scale at home was 171.7. So I think the scale at the house is off. Just think it's off. But let's just say, well, actually, you know what? Actually, I remember I have a lot of like errands to run, so this might be a longer video, right? It might be like cut into pieces, but let's say I'm like 175. Okay, let's just say I'm 175, even though I was hydrated, I have food in my stomach, right? Whatever, right? It's been about 5 weeks since I came down from 180, so it is about a pound per week, which is nice. It's amazing. So I think, I talked about setting goals before. I talked about setting, stepping stones. So, dude, it is actually kind of hard to style this hair because it's kind of short, so it doesn't drape. But yeah, see, it's like it doesn't drape well, but so my immediate goal is at the end of this first initial cut, right before I go into maintenance, before I deload and stuff, I do want to get down to 170, right? If I can be 169.9, if I can see that 6, satisfied, right? I will deload, maintenance, no cardio that maybe week, 2 weeks. I'll eat back up at 2100 calories. And then I will just, I'll lift whatever the fuck I want to lift, and it will go from there. And then the second part of the cut, from 170 or 169.9, get down into 159.9, right? And then I will reassess. How do I look? Am I the same leanness as I was before? Do I want to go a little further so then my bulk can be a little bit longer? And then I will reassess. But I kind of have the next 1.5 steps planned out for me already. So, God, this guy is fucking sucks at driving. Jesus Christ! Don't stop in the middle of a road to make a turn, and then not fully make that turn. Like stick your ass out. Like you just fuck me, man. But yeah, but I mean, those are my two like immediate goals, which I think are very attainable, and they're kind of like bite-sized too, right? Like they're like 10 weeks apart, right? It's not like, I was 180, I gotta get down to 150 immediately, right? It's like that's my goal, right? The in-between doesn't matter. It's like, no, like the in-between does, cause let's say you don't reach that 150 and you like stopped at like 157, and now you feel fucking bad, and now you don't want to do it again, right? So just set small intermediate goals, meet those, set another one, meet those, set another one, and you'll be good, man. Promise you, you'll be so fucking good. Definitely gonna start shopping at Aldi's more. Supporting local business is all fun and games until they upcharge you like $2 on every single fucking item. So fuck that. Sorry, buddy. There's a reason why. Okay, this guy's just cutting through a parking lot. That's cool. There's a reason why they're unsustainable. Because larger chains just they got everything. So sucks, but gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So what I was talking about before I went in for my workout, you know, if there's a newbie, what would I say, or what would I have them do, right? I think it's pretty simple. So honestly, it's all about building a habit, right? And you know, there's that study where it's like it takes 66 days of doing something to build a habit or whatever, right? I'm like, cool, okay, cool. We have a rough like estimate, right? Right, let's say it's like 2.5 months, right? That's how I kind of look at it. I would probably get them familiarized and with what they're gonna be doing for the long haul. And part of that is also just like kind of like them like discovering, oh shoot, you know, peanut butter is very calorically dense, but I can just have PB2 powder, mix it with a little water. It's 1/4 of the calories, but the same amount of protein, the same amount of taste. Whoa, right? Just making them aware of like, okay, what am I actually eating, right? So I mean, I would suggest first week just keep a track of what you're eating, right? Use like MyFitnessPal. I know Jeff has one, Macro Factor or whatever. I'm gonna try that after my FitnessPal subscription ends. But yeah, like use MyFitnessPal. It's free, right? I mean, I don't think you can use the barcode scanner if it's free, but just like type in whatever you're eating and then just log it, right? Like, right? And don't worry about the calories, don't worry about the macros, just log it, right? And then after a week, you'll be like, oh shit, bro, I fucking drink 2 large or 2 venti tall, whatever the fuck, Starbucks coffee. Oh my god, that's like 900 calories. I'm like, oh shit, you know, like I keep having snacks, I keep eating chips, you know, I finished 1/4 of a bag. Oh well, you know, like that's another 400 calories. Oh shit, right? And then you become self-aware. And now the next week is, okay, cool, we'll just lower, or now we'll worry about the calories, right? Let's track your calories and let's try to maintain like a semblance of you know, like normalcy, right? So instead of dropping, you know, let's say you eat 3,000 calories, right? Instead of dropping it just to, you know, your BMR 1800, right? Let's go halfway in between, right? Like let's just cut out 500 or 600 calories, right? Let's just meet in the middle, right? It's still sustainable, right? You're still making an effort, right? And then just do that for a week, right? And then in the next week, okay, cool, we're gonna worry about your calories, and now we're gonna add on top of that, we're gonna worry about your macros. All right, let's get, you know, 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Amazing. All right, let's get there, right? Let's have at least 55 grams of healthy fats, right? It's super important for your like hormonal system and for your tea production and things like that. And then the rest can be carbs, right? We're not even gonna worry about high GI or low GI carbs. We're just gonna say whatever carbs. If it's sugar, I don't give a fuck, right? And then after that, cool, we're gonna keep the calories, we're gonna keep the macros the same. The 4th week, right? Listen, you feel like you haven't done anything, but really you kind of made yourself aware of, okay, what am I eating? What should I be eating? What shouldn't I be eating? Cool. All right, this is the effort I need to take for my macros. This is the effort I need to take for my calories or whatever, right? So actually, you're making a lot of headway in your head, which is amazing. So 4th week, I will be like, okay, cool. Just go to a gym. Go to the forbidden gym that I hate, the fucking purple gym that I hate. It's $9.99, right? And they have like there's like 4 events every year where it's like 0 sign up, or it's like $1 sign up fee, or just get it, right? It's $9.99 per month, right? There is like a processing fee and like a maintenance fee that, you know, gets charged immediately, but basically it comes out to, I think it comes out to like $14 a month, you know, if you divide up that like maintenance processing fee. But hey, I think that's like the same price as the new Netflix subscription price, right? So awesome. Just go in there, right? Listen, do whatever you want, but don't do more than 3 times a week, right? Go in there one time a week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, right? And all I'm gonna suggest is, dude, just walk on the treadmill. You don't gotta do anything. You don't even have to do incline. You don't have to be fast. Just walk on a treadmill for like 15, 20 minutes, right? Watch an episode of, I don't know, Free Run. Watch an episode of A Sign of Affection, right? Watch an anime, right? Watch, I don't really know what normies watch. You know, Stranger Things? I don't even know if that's still going on, but yeah, just start walking, set your pace. You know, I think most of them have a thing where you can set your weight, and that calorie number that spits back at you is fairly accurate. Don't hold on to the bars, just walk, right? And just, you know, prop up your phone on the thing, or, you know, if you have like a little latch, perfect. Just do it for an episode, right? If you're like, oh, 20 minutes is too long, right? Cool, go in for a fucking YouTube video, a 15-minute, 10-minute YouTube video. Just do that 3 times a week, you know? And then, oh my God, I'm trying to find a fucking place to get gas at. It's annoying. All right, errands completed. It's kind of choppy because have to get gas for the last portion. It's just weird. I'm gonna see if I can edit it so it's coherent, but it's done. Fuck, dude, that took like an hour-ish, like 40, maybe like 50 minutes, right? That took 15 minutes, but now I gotta hurry home. I gotta take the dogs out, but then I haven't eaten yet, so it's like, okay, well, fuck. You know, it's gonna be like another hour, you know, and then it's like wet as fuck. It's raining outside, and I gotta take them in and clean them, and, you know, after their pee and poops. But you know what? That's enough of me complaining. Let's talk about the next part of, you know, what I would tell a newbie, right? So I think I ended on, you know, just go in and just walk for like, you know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever. I think the next step is to kind of just put everything together, because then you're essentially 1 month into your journey already, right? And, you know, you probably didn't see any results whatsoever. You know, your VO2 max didn't increase, your strength didn't increase, you don't look better, right? Like, your health is probably not better either. But hey, now at least you're aware of everything, right? Now you have the knowledge to like make changes and make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Which is probably more powerful than you know, you getting in there and just doing nilly-willy because some guy, you know, on the internet told you to, right? So you're a month in, cool. Now let's gauge what your goals are, right? If, let's say you're, how should I say this? You know what? I think no filter is better. If you're a fatty, let's cut weight, right? Let's get your body fat down to an acceptable level, right? What is an acceptable level, right? For guys, I mean, if you can get it under 20, cool. That's a great starting place, right? Go from 30 to 20, 40 to 20, 50 to 20, whatever it is, get to 20. 20 is very sustainable. You'll notice your figure was gonna look a lot smaller. Now you won't see the abs, and you might have a little bit of, you know, love handle left, but 20 is a good starting spot, right? And for girls, it's whatever, For girls, typically it's just 8% more body fat, right? Because girls need a little bit more because of their wide hips, their glutes, their breasts. It's just, and then estrogen helps accumulate body fat too, right? It's just like a natural adaptation that we have for, you know, birthing mothers, right? Just having a little bit of extra energy stored, you know, when we were still cavemen or whatever. But yeah, so for girls, you know, get to like 28, right? Right, and then reassess. Now, if you're skinny fat, right? You're skinny, but you're like kind of like fat, right? Like you just look weird, right? I would recommend, cool, let's start a bulk, right? Because even if you cut off that fat part of the skinny, you know, there's gonna be nothing left of you. You know, you're gonna be all bones, man. You're gonna be a skeleton. So let's just start a bulk. And if you're skinny and you're lean and you're just like, yeah, no, I don't have very much muscle, but I don't have very much fat either. That's a great starting spot, man. That's probably the perfect starting spot. But regardless of where you are, those are my recommendations, right? So I am intimately familiar with being a fatty McFatty and having to cut the weight first, right? I mean, 5'7", 200 pounds. I was probably like 35, 40%, maybe 35 plus or minus percentage. Got down to 153, and I mean, that's very impressive, right? But body fat percentage wise, I'm still, you know, I think I ended up, you know, I was still like 16, right? Like you could see the top 4 abs, but I still had the love handle. I still had the, you know, right? Like I still had a little bit, you know, on my boobies. So even that, you know, I'm still at 16. That was just, you know, unbearable, right? So I know how much it sucks, but, and I went into it without knowing all of this stuff, right? I was just following someone else's blueprint without knowing why or how everything worked. So man, there's points during that first initial cut where I wanted to punch a fucking wall because I felt so fucking hungry, right? But now I know, cool, we eat approximately the same amount of food, but I'm substituting calorically dense food for calorically, you know, not dense food, right? I'm eating a lot more vegetables because I am on a cut. I'm probably not getting that much nutrients, that much vitamins. So this actually is great for me, right? I'm eating other foods, you know, foods that I haven't eaten before for, you know, years, right? Yogurt, you know, frozen berries, cottage cheese, you know, oatmeal, right? I use protein oats, you know, combine it with Quakers, you know, so it's like half and half. I get a little bit of protein with it. You know, today I bought like a different brand, but I forgot I had like 4 boxes left at home, so I'm gonna have to go on a oatmeal binge for a while for my breakfast and maybe my carbs, because I kind of just feel bad about it. But yeah, I mean, if you like cereal, get the, you know, get the low sugar kind, get the protein version, right? For even the ones that have bad ratio, it's like 200 calories per cup of cereal, and you get 15 grams of protein, right? Some of the better ones are like 150 calories for 20 grams of protein, right? So that's great, man. You know, like even if you have that with water, hey, your breakfast, you still got 20 grams of protein in your breakfast. That's nice, right? But of course, you know, we're not fucking cereal killers. We're gonna drink milk, so that actually gets up to about 32 or something like that, right? So perfect, great, right? And I think, yeah, just like having the knowledge of knowing how to cut is really, really important, because now it's sustainable, right? And knowing, cool, you know, I can go for this long, I'll take a break, I'll go for this long, I'll take a break, but, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I think if you're a fatty McFatty and, you know, you're just like, yeah, this is not where I want to be, that's the first change I would, you know, tell you. Just cut the body weight down, or not even body weight, sorry, cut the body fat down, right? Right? 'Cause I don't really care what your number on the scale is. I only care about what percentage of your body is adipose, right? Of course, if you do a DEXA scan, now there is visceral fat, and I have read a couple of studies linking high adipose percentage leading to adipocytes, which leads to increased visceral fat, which is not great, right? Visceral fat is the fat around your organs, right? Some is good, it's protective, it's whatever, but too much is not good. Now, I'm not too keen on that. It's only a couple of research papers, but take it with a grain of salt, right? So, I mean, just get that body weight down. And once you start seeing the change, you'll start to get into that habit, right? Right, and then a month goes by, 66 days go by, right? The how long it takes to build a habit, right? And you'll get there, right? And it'll be really easy. So, I mean, get down to 20, right? And if at 20 you're like, man, this was really sustainable, I can get down even further. Cool, man. Let's get down to 15, right? And then let's start your bulk after that, right? So at that point, the other two, skinny fat and super skinny, and the fuck was I talking about? All three categories then basically start at the same spot again, right? It's just that if you have high body fat, you got to cut that down before you can even start the race, right? So now, well, what I recommend is cool. But if you like walking and whatever, cool, do that, But let's add 3 days of weight training, right? Let's and since you've been kind of tracking calories, tracking your macros, and tracking your weight over the first like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you kind of have an idea of like you average numbers. You kind of have an idea. It's like, okay, cool. My weight's really not going up, but I'm eating on average this much over the course of that month. So that's probably what my maintenance is, for my body at the moment, for the activities I'm doing, right? And then, as you start to drop that weight, or, for the other two categories, that's your starting spot. Cool. Now you know where you are and where you want to be, which is about 250, 300 calories over, right? Not a lot, right? That could literally be like a protein shake with whole milk or chocolate milk, right? Like, it's just one more meal, right? It's literally that. And the reason why I don't suggest the 5 pounds the 500 calories, surplus every single day, because I find 1 pound of weight gain, a lot of it is fat, right? A lot of it is adipose tissues. And I feel like if you're at the 250, or let's say you're at 300, right? Slightly over, I feel like a better ratio of muscle to fat is gained. It might not be perfect, right? It might not be 100% muscle, but it's better than 50-50 where you're, where you're doing a 500 calorie surplus. Now you're doing 250, 300. Maybe it's like 1.25 pounds of, fat versus, 0.75 pounds of, or of mass versus 0.7 pounds of fat, right? Now the ratio is a little bit better, right? That means you can sustain the bulk longer. You're more in, you're gaining muscle, you're gaining strength, and you're gaining the right weight over a longer period of time than if you were to do, super high calorie, surplus, and half of it is fat. And now, instead of bulking for 8 months, 9 months, now you can only bulk for 5 because you have to cut for the other 7, right? And it's just, this is like, what's the point? So I always suggest slightly over, and it's also good because you don't get sick of eating that way, right? You can still enjoy eating. But yeah, no, I mean, that's where I would start. Just those 4 weeks, boom, cool. If you still want to do cardio after that, awesome. Add in 3 days, eat at a slight calorie surplus because you already know your TDEE based off, your last month. Cool, let's just start there, right? And then after that, maybe look into different programs, maybe get a coach, maybe join a gym where people are helpful, maybe a powerlifting gym, maybe an ollie gym, maybe just a whatever, right? Do whatever you want, but I think that's a good starting spot. So fuck, so I have a bunch of shit I need to do before I can even do work, so I'm gonna try and edit this. Hopefully it doesn't get uploaded super late. I think yesterday I uploaded at like 10. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But see ya.